Hey VC, it's me Rodger, back with another video. Turn this down. Hey, I want to thank everybody for all the nice comments and more likes than any video I've ever made for my little pull link 13th improvisation thing. You know, I love that piece. I love playing that stuff. I think I'm really not really good at that stuff, but you know, anyway, it was really kind of a bagatelle as it was to test out this thing that I posted a little synthesizer stuff on Instagram if you're interested, and I got this little, what is it? It's a Roland Go mixer thing that lets me plug into my iPhone and get a line level signal rather than trying to crank up sound and use the shitty little microphone in the iPhone, and just for fun. But Instagram limits videos to a minute, so that piece is a little over 2 minutes. I thought, well, I'm going to see what it sounds like, and if it's cool, I'll put it up on YouTube. And anyway, cool people. Music in all of its forms, I feel blessed, as they say down here in Dixieland. I feel blessed that I was given the opportunity to have music lessons and I can play an instrument, many instruments. Lots of instruments I don't even have, but it's a wonderful thing. And the wonderful thing about the piano is that there's this repertoire that it's just there to for me anyway. It's I don't have to feel particularly creative, but I can every day sit down and I spend every day an hour or so banging out that crap. I'm waffling and rambling and whatever, but anyway, I appreciate the good vibes. Makes me feel really good. In the grand scheme of YouTube, it's teeny piss in the bucket, but whatever, I don't care. I say I don't care, but obviously I do, right? I care because you do. All right, cheers, everybody. For those that care, I'm having a Newcastle brown ale. It says the one and only, but what's interesting is, look, it says brewed in Holland. Newcastle is in the UK, isn't it, as I recall? In fact, yes, it is. And this is not the one and only. That's, sometimes we'll get it and it's from Newcastle, and sometimes it's brewed in Holland. I'm not sure what that's about. I can't really taste the difference. There probably is a difference, and probably if you go to Newcastle and get it in a pub on tap, it's a whole different experience. I bet that's the case. I've never been, but I bet it's the case. All right, 3 minutes, and how y'all doing? Doing good? Doing good? The new year, it's rocking on, right? We've had the craziest weather. I mean, we were snowed in. We were literally snowed in for 5 days. And then 3 days later, it's 65 degrees. Crazy. Crazy. All right, you're here for records, and I'm here to show you some records. Rod has called me out on my vinyl diet comment. Yeah, sure, yeah. I gained 10 pounds on my vinyl diet. Whatever. It was just that some things came out that I had to have, okay? Like this, for instance. Okay, finally, 4 minutes, and we're finally showing a record, but it's a good one, all right? Lots of people in the VC know this record. Manuel Gotching, E2 to E4. Obviously, there's a chess reference there. Yeah, lots of people have shown this in the VC. Some people have originals. Ooh, wow, classic late, krautrock, but this is from 1981, recorded December 12th, 1981. It's one of the first pieces of pop music to use computers to, I don't know about generate the sound, but to sequence the sound and use it to compose with. And so for 1981, this sounds very way ahead of its time. And so, Manuel Gotching, obviously guitarist and dude from Ashra, Ashra Temple. He just kind of did this on a lark, apparently, just, you know, experimenting with an Apple IIc. And God, you think if you ever use one of those things, and then you listen to this, and like, wow, he made that on that freaking thing? Anyway, really cool. You know, it sounds like modern, you know, house music. I'm no expert on like all the various subgenres of electronic dance music. I really don't know, but this, you know, it sounds like modern electronic dance music, but it was made by one of those krautrock dudes in 1981. Really cool. It's on his own label. I can't remember what it was originally on, but it's his own MG Art label, and it's got the embossed cover. It sounds fantastic. You know, totally worth it. You know, one of those. I'm really happy with the reissue. I'm not going to complain. Speaking of reissues, a lot of reissues here. Sorry, folks, you're not into reissues. Get out of here! Get out of here! Get in! Am I going to upload this video? What has gotten into me? You'd think I've had like 16 beers or something. This is actually my first beer. It is. It's been a long day. Okay, here's a record that James Buttery, hey James, if you're watching, showed on the Facebook page. And I'm like, man, I've seen that record. And it's on Mr. Bongo. And I don't know, yeah, I tried to go on a vinyl diet. I tried, I really did. James, it's your fault. So what is this? This is, what's the guy's name? Pedro Santos. Krishnanda is the title. So this is a Brazilian Tropicalia, you know, psychedelic Brazilian pop record. Originally on CBS from, what, like 1970, 68? Is it really 68? God, that's what it says here. Anyway, it's as wild as this cover. It is a really strange record. It's, it has lots of elements of different kinds of Caribbean music, you know, from, you know, sort of Brazilian, recognizably Brazilian and folk kinds of things, but also like real Afro-Cuban kinds of things, and very, yeah, kind of West African stuff. Fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. James, thank you for, you know, apparently originals are really, really rare. You know, all this Mr. Bongo stuff, originals are really super rare. And, you know, I really should just pick them all up. And in fact, when I was at the place that had that one, they was like, oh, here's another Mr. Bongo, so I bought it. I did. Antonio Carlos and Yokafai? Oh, God, I can't say this. This is Portuguese, I guess. Mudie de Idea? I really don't know. So this is a little bit later. This is from the 70s sometime. Originally on RCA. Yeah, terrific. A little more, you know, like modern and a little more samba kind of, but, you know, electrified and kind of psychedelic, and, you know, like, I've said it before, and I guess I should just resign myself to it and get busy here. I should really get every single freaking Mr. Bongo reissue, because they do a really nice job. They sound great, and these records are rares. You know, about as rare as a rare record can get, you know? So, anyway, excellent. Really happy with those. I don't have a lot of records to show here. Maybe that's why I'm waffling around so much. And thanks for hanging out, people. I appreciate it. Alright, here's one that just came out recently. Never before on vinyl. They originally came out on cassette in 1984. Rodger, what's it called? Vision Songs Volume 1. Rodger, you know, like, you know, iconic figure of like American New Age music. You know, kind of discovered by Brian Eno, busking in Central Park, whatever. This is very different from a lot of the Rodger stuff you might be familiar with. There's a lot of singing on this, and it's very like kind of a cross between gospel music and New Age music. And there's some zither, and then there's that Casio keyboard that he has, and but it's cool. It's cool, but it's different from what you might expect, you know. And it may be just a little like a bridge too far for some people, because the singing is, you know, it might just be a little too sincere for this day and age, you know. I love it though. And this cover, it's all new artwork. This is from like a public access cable TV show he had in Manhattan for a while. Cool stuff. They're like, Facebook promo has a little bit of that video stuff. It's awesome. All right, let's see this. Oh, okay, this. Kent Hoover, Hound Dog Hoover, you know, he closed his store, which is kind of a bummer. But when the weather's okay, he's been having these tent sales. Just down the hill, down the hill and holler there. You won't set up a tent. And yeah, so I found this there, and it was still sealed, and it was a reasonable price. This was a record store day thing last year, I think. The Music Machine. Name of the album is "Turn On the Music Machine." From 1966. Originally on not really sure, but well, it might have been on Original Sound, because he also had this. He had an original 7-inch single of the big hit single, you know, Talk Talk, from this record. It's pretty cool, and it's backed with "Come On In." It's also on this record. So yeah, if you're into like garagey punk stuff, garagey, you know, psychedelic 60s stuff, proto-punk kind of stuff, this is kind of, you know, right up your alley, you know. But it's also mid-60s, so mid-60s California, Hollywood kind of, you know, so you know, they're forced to cover like, you know, CC Rider and Taxman and 96 Tears, and but it closes with a cover of "Hey Joe" that is so amped up it you know, presages Hendrix's cover of "Hey Joe." So anyway, you know, again, a pretty rare album, mastered from the original mono tapes. That's what it said. Original analog mono. Sounds really good. I mean, for like amped up mono garage rock stuff. Yeah, I was happy to get it. I didn't want to pay like a lot of, you know, the asking price for it, but he had it, you know, and I was like, oh great. And then of course getting this like single is pretty cool. And it actually cleaned up great, you know. And again, mono, like, and this really amped up, like kind of like the Sonics, like real gritty, hard edge guitar stuff, you know. And it just cleaned up great. He had another cool 7-inch and a stock sleeve. I have a hard time resisting them at this point. This is Our Time Is Running Out, backed with Sweet Sunrise by the Yellow Pages. This is from 1968 on Uni, as you can see here. I had never heard of these guys. They made one album called Volume 1, and they made a bunch of singles that were never ever collected onto another album, not even on CD. I don't think this is even on CD. I was doing a little research, and yeah. So it's another weird, like, LA psychedelic pop thing, and a very quirky songwriting, like these weird chord changes that like move like in these just like chromatic thing. It's very strange, but ultimately it works. It's you know, it's definitely of its time. Pretty cool. Okay, one more 7-inch, because I found it for 50 cents. And I couldn't resist, because I mean, come on, she's pretty cute. Shelby Lynn, Anyone Who Had a Heart, backed with Pretend. It's a promo only advanced single for her Just a Little Lovin' record on Lost Highway. Just, I think, a really wonderful. It sounds amazing. You know, it's engineered by Al Schmidt. You know, jeez. I think I told my Al Schmidt story, but I'll save it for another time. If I haven't, let me know. And so, yeah, you know, 45 promo only, and he's looking pretty cute there, and 50 cents, come on. How could I resist? I think there's a song on that album that's kind of like that. How could I? I'm going on and on and on and on and on. Are you enjoying the droning little like sequence that's going on back there? I like going into modular time. Like once I start like taking a cable and patching it here, and going like, oh, hours will go by and I won't even think about that orange buffoon in the White House. All right, here's a record that some folks in the VC have shown before, the Pater Noster. Now, originals of this are like super duper freaking rare, and this is the Now Again edition, Now Again Reserve edition of this thing. So super rare, Austrian, like prog psych band from 1972. There they are with the obligatory fisheye photo. Now, the day I was at Griney's, I was talking to my friends there, and I was kind of singling out now and again, Youth and Alapat's label for like kind of being consistently not good pressings. You know, they're like normal pressings and like really great repertoire, these great African comps, you know, but every one that I've bought is either off-center, warped, or both, or in like noisy and non-fill. Like every problem you can have with a pressing, like that's what you get. This is a little different, and I'd always wondered why it was so expensive, but it was on sale at Griney's. They don't do sales except like around the end of the year, around inventory time. And so I didn't, as much as people were like, "Oh, this is so great," I just like, it was like $45 or something like that. Well, anyway, it was marked down to like 30. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'll bite at 30 bucks. And this is terrific. This is really fairly unique kind of sounding record. It's kind of all over the place, which you'll get with prog. Now the the cool thing about this is that the vocals are actually pretty cool. Now, if you can deal with them, they remind me of a modern band that I'm going to show up next. But yeah, this is killer. I love it. I've listened to it a bunch of times, and it's one of those like prog psychedelic records that every time I listen to it, it's like, oh God, there's even more going on here than I thought. And beautifully packaged. And I wanted to say, beautifully pressed at QRP. They really, this is fantastic. This is as good as it gets. So I take all that back. Why don't you do all of your records at QRP? But $45? I don't know. Anyway, glad to have it. Glad to have it. Cool stuff. All right, so this, I went online to get this because, as y'all know, I really, really dig this band, and I wasn't aware that their earlier records had been reissued. So I, couldn't get them locally, so I went on Discogs, and so this is Solstafir. The name of the album is Cold. I don't know. Solstafir, Icelandic post-metal band, I guess you'd call them. So this is like, I think their third record. Originally on Spike Farm. This is on Spine Farm. Reissued last year on Spine Farm. God, these guys are so good. I can't. And interestingly, they sing in English on this. And I wonder if the one before this, it's also on Spine Farm, and has been reissued, but I can't find it domestically. I'm gonna have to have it shipped from. It becomes like a $50 record, and I don't. It bums me out. But I might just do it because I really like this band. But yeah, anyway, they're singing in English on some of this, which is, I think this is the last record that they do that. Like, I guess it didn't didn't help them sell any records at the time. In 2009, when this came out, you know, I certainly was completely oblivious to their existence in 2009, which doesn't mean anything necessarily at all, at all, considering what I was doing in 2009. So yeah, this is not metal, I guess. You know, this is the kind of stuff where like if you block metal from your listening diet or whatever, you are potentially closing yourself off to like just all this incredible creativity. And I suppose this fits into metal, but it's post metal. Oh God, I hate that. They're doing really interesting things, and it's got that Icelandic, very atmospheric, very glacial kinds of like tempos, and like even when they're like rocking, there's still like this weight to it. I don't know. I'm babbling. 21 minutes. All right, we're almost done. All right. So anyway, excellent stuff. I'm really super happy to have it. I guess I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and get that previous one shipped to me from the UK and pay for it. Oh well. Cheers, everybody. It's worth it though when you like really like a band like that, where it's like you just know you're gonna be happy. Happy's maybe not there, but like it's gonna be very satisfying to like, you know, it's so satisfying to have this and to listen to it and to like know that I can pull it off the shelf anytime I wanted it. All right, so here's a band that I have in the past said I don't really get these guys. Go. But I found this gently used at Grimey's, so it was like stupid cheap, you know. If I hadn't wandered in there at that moment, you know, 5 minutes later someone else would have bought this. Double live album called Live Ballroom Ritual on Rocket Records from 2013. Now, lots of people in the VC have shown this. You know, they're on Sub Pop here in the US, but Sub Pop has not released their live things, and they've done like 3 of them now, I guess. And this is the first one. And I'd kind of heard that, you know, live is really where it's at with this band, and you know, I can relate to that. And damn it, ain't that the case. This is great. This is like, it's like from the first moment on the first side, you drop the needle, and they like, there's like, it grooves in a way that like the studio stuff just doesn't to me. Like I kind of like their singles, like in small doses, you know. And I was kind of worried, like a double live album, am I even gonna be able to get through it? But somehow live, those grooves, like in the studio, those grooves feel like brittle and kind of like not settled, you know. Whereas those grooves, like they got swing, you know, and that makes all the difference in the world, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And so yeah, this is great, top to bottom. You know, fucking great. There's 2 more that I only available in the UK. Maybe I'll find some UK retailer who will sell me all those records and charge me a shit ton shipping, but I'll have them. I'll have vinyl diet, right? Okay. So I think also that last time I was at Grimey's, they also had this gently used. In fact, they might have been both in the shrink wrap, but you know, I saw no reason to keep them in the shrink wrap. This is another VC favorite. I know that like Jeff McLennan, Jeff Glowing Double O Cabbage. Hey Jeff, if you're watching, I don't know if he is, but we are working together on a new project, which I'm excited to announce sometime in spring. Anyway, so the band is Bitchin' Bajas, and I found 2 things there. I'm like, okay, you know, I'll check it out. So we have an LP on Drag City called Bitchatronics, and an EP on Permanent Records called Krausend. Now, I gotta say, I listened to this first. They both came out around the same time, like 2013, I think, something like that. And they've been around a while. Now, I'll be honest, I always thought their name, Bitchin' Bajas, was like, what? You know, it sounds like they're gonna be like surf rock or something. Well, they're not. It's like electronic music. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up quickly. But okay, so I listened to this first, and you know, the title tracks. This is just a 2-sided EP, 2 long tracks, and the first track, I'm going, okay, this is kind of nice, drony, electronic. Not much is happening here. But then it like went into this like, you know, krautrock, you know, bouncy krautrock groove, and it got really interesting, and I got really excited. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then the other side, I can't remember what it's called. It was okay. It was a little less exciting to me. So then I'm like, oh, great, God, you know, geez, the LP must be killer. And I gotta say, I never, you know, like, you get the, like, spacey electronics where, like, not a whole lot happens, but I kept waiting for the payoff of the, like, you know, the bouncy krautrock beat, and it never happened. You know, and maybe that's not the point here. Bitchatronics, this is really more in, like, a frippatronics kind of ambient washes of something. And, you know, so maybe I'm just not hearing the right things. I still think their name is really silly. But that's okay. I've been there, done that. So yeah, I'm glad to have it. Interesting stuff. This track, keeper for sure. And that is where we're going to stop. Yeah. Well, oh, has my mouse stopped working? Oh wait, it's upside down. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Leave your comments. I read everyone. I really appreciate them. And leave your likes, leave your dislikes. I just, you know, just doing my thing. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.